Sexplosion is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m.
I found you saved, right?
Yeah,
You might believe pigs could fly too.
Sex in the Caribbean.
All right, family, well, enjoy the rest of your show. The rest of love. Yeah, man.
And enjoy your doll. Tell them to enjoy your doll.
Raj, man, nice program.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, respect.
Safe drive.
Yeah.
On Power 102.
Don't drive like some people we do.
Not much commercial, but that's good.
What the hell is this?
Boy, when I come in here, if you hear the volume in here,
I could
I
imagine.
don't know how them speakers do us.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo.
Whenever you're ready, let me know.
I ready long time, you know.
You ready?
Long time. I set up in how long?
Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM. Special thanks, as always, to 9 Miles International. Kicking off our evening into live nighttime programming here on Power 102.1 FM. Well, taking our time, it's now 7 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime longest running program, Sexplosion, with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very special good evening to you, my big brother. How are you today?
I'm fine. A pleasant good evening to you, and I have to wish you a happy birthday.
Well,
I hope you had a
thanks.
wonderful day today,
Yes,
and
beautiful, beautiful day.
I hope you cap it off tonight.
Yes,
I see you get a special present.
yes, yes.
She just all you have to do is blow her up.
Yes. The blonde or
Any color you want,
Any
come with a marker.
Oh, you come with a marker. You had a beautiful, beautiful day. But you know the best thing about it is coming into work. You know.
My wife told her, I said, today is Junior's birthday, and I was going to tie a bow on the thing, and she said, well, it has stars on the bow. I said, well, Junior is a star,
No, maybe we could blow her up and put her to sit maybe
With us,
no,
yeah,
but-
keep us company on the program.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
but
be
don't
fun.
worry, you'll enjoy her.
Well, it-
So everything was good.
Yes, but a beautiful day, and I got a beautiful response from people that I never expected to send greetings. Got the beautiful greetings.
Well, it's good
a
to be-
beautiful
it's
day.
good- it's
and
good.
It's always nice to taper it off, sitting down with my best friend here.
Yeah, well,
speaking about
I-
sex on a Friday.
I enjoy spending time with you, so I glad to close it off. But don't tell people I close off your birthday, But shit, we're finishing at 12. Excuse me. We're finishing at 12.
Well, hey,
Lord, okay.
give me enough time to blow it up. Maybe I could put it in the passenger seat when I'm leaving.
Well, put you in the passenger seat, but when you go home, make sure
But,
you
but it's much better than sitting down next to a fruit. We won't tell people about that.
Junior. So
Oh, I tell you.
we're here to talk sex. But before I start that, I went to the cricket tonight. There's a university tournament going on at UWE.
Oh, okay.
And I came in, some of the guys from the US team came in with me last night, and I went to support them a bit. Chandra Paul is their coach, Had a nice little chat with him, you know, reminisce about some of the days. That man looked good. He looked like he have another 10 years of cricket in him, boy. He more fit than some of the guys playing. Honestly, he is. He looks fitter than some of the guys who are playing, and some of the guys who are playing are young men in their teens, late teens, and early 20s.
Yeah, because I saw a pic of him recently, and I mean, he really looks fit.
I'm telling you, the man, he had them running all over the field.
So what? This is a tournament.
This is a tournament. It's a T20 tournament. It's the university campus tournament. Universities from all over. We have the CCC combined campuses. We have a Trinidad team. We have American team and other teams playing.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So it goes on for the next 10 days. For those of you who have time, tomorrow go down there from 2 o'clock. Match starts at 2 o'clock. There are two matches per day. Yeah, they have semi-finals and finals. So it's fun. See some. Unfortunately, a young lady got hit with the ball on her head tonight, but I hope she's okay. And they rushed her to the hospital. So so.
And you don't have to travel. You could just jump over the wall.
Well, not really, you know. I don't live there anymore, you know.
No, when I say so, I mean, while you're working, you can just...
Oh, you mean while I'm working? Yeah, well, I planned... I was supposed to go over today for the opening ceremony. I thought the opening ceremony was today, but it was yesterday. And I told my friend, David Ramsing is one of the coordinator of the games, especially for the US team. So I told him I'll come across at 12 o'clock to see the start and whatnot. But fortunately for me, it didn't start today. It started yesterday. And I went, at least, you know, I went to support. I like to support my cricket, especially the young ones coming up.
Did you take any friends with you?
Friends?
Yeah.
No, I met friends there. I met a lot of friends. Dinanath Ramnarayan, Darin Ganga, Ted Mangal, some of my old friends who I haven't seen in years. I didn't see Ted Mangal maybe in about 5 years.
Wow.
You know, but
so it was a good gathering.
It's a nice gathering and it's fun. If you like cricket and if you like just having fun, just go and take it in. See the young talent.
Yeah, and when you're speaking in terms of the university, you have a lot of young talent. You know.
I know what you're driving at, and yes, there's a lot of young talent, and you could go and take that in also.
What is nice, that is the beauty of watching these games. They are well supported, and when you're thinking in terms of university grounds, you know they will come out to support.
Yeah. So it's always good to support something, and I like to support my cricket. So, and Izzy says, tell Junior I said happy birthday. Only the best people born this month.
The woman
I wonder why she said that, boy.
The woman is correct. No, she is correct.
I wonder why.
She's Capricorn as well.
I don't know. I wouldn't. How would I know that? If you like my people business, or how would I know these things?
I know for a fact. I know you got a good, but most of your friends, you got a good.
Who said she's my friend?
She's not your friend?
No, she's just somebody I know. The friends, you know. It could be more than friends.
But with a name like Izzy.
Yeah, I know you'll try to pick my brain tonight.
You know what I'm referring to, right?
That's not going to happen. But I don't think she's Capricorn. She'll be what's that other one?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one that comes in February, right? My mother is Aquarius, so it has to be that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My mother, my deceased sister.
And you know the two birthdays are not too far apart.
Which two?
Aquarius is.
Oh, I thought you meant my deceased sister and my mother. Wayne, how are you, my friend? Haven't seen you for a while.
Family locked on, man.
Yes.
You know he's going to be in Trinidad in the next couple of...
Not that Wayne. This is Wayne Chance. Yes.
Oh, Wayne Chance.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's a good brother.
Yeah. I like some of the, well, not some, I like the things that he's doing, and I always follow him on Facebook and whatnot.
A great guy. Great guy.
Yes, so we're here to talk sex. Where were we from last week? Okay, we have to apologize. No program yesterday. We had a paid program, so our program was preempted.
We had conversations with the Honorable Prime
Minister. Yes, and tonight we have Sexplosion, and we're celebrating your birthday while we're going on. I know people would people will be calling in to wish you happy birthday, and some of them will be selling messages.
And it's beautiful to turn 40.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know that you're just, what is it? 40? 40 times 2.
No, but the age really rhymes with the program.
Well, yeah, we know that. Age goes. But
we will leave it as that.
Oh, yes. AA has sent me something here. A has sent me something here. A, why are you doing that? The program now start,
But
girl.
this
Oh
is what I was
God.
about to say. She kicking it off.
She's
early.
kicking it off early. So I like, I don't mind receiving photographs and little
That's
video
your-
clips and whatnot.
No, that's your style.
It is my style.
Because I know you love photography.
Yeah, that's one of
I
my
know that
passion.
for-
That's
I
one
know
of my.
that for a fact.
That's something I love doing. I've always been doing that, and
But you must get into directing as well.
I did that for a while too. I did that for a while, directing and producing and whatnot.
Was
and-
never nominated for an Oscar.
No, Judy. No.
No, because I know you're talented. I know when you, for a fact, I know when you put your mind to do something.
Well, if I
know
was
you
living
put out
in
your
the U.S. and maybe living in Los Angeles, I may have gone into the sphere of movie making, or I don't know. I no one knows.
Because
But it was never my forte. It was never something that I wanted to do. I always wanted to be doing something with sex. Maybe I would have been Porn Valley.
yeah, because they have an
You know,
award.
the AVN is in 2 weeks' time, so that's
Right,
the
yeah.
Adult Video Awards show. That's in Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time. So who knows? Maybe I'll be. I know I walked on the red carpet on that show already.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was fun, and spent some time with my good friend Ron Jeremy in Arivak.
Hey,
and
Ron, yeah. He's still around, yeah?
Still around, still playing the fool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you call it, playing the fool, enjoying life.
That's the most important thing. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Tell you what, before we get rolling this evening, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Power 102 FM
Boom Champions 94
and Vempot.
present Think Twice.
Think twice.
We celebrate life and promote safety on the nation's roads.
Think twice on the roads, in your cars, for our pedestrians and cyclists.
Think twice before you drive, act, and go about your daily lives.
Every life is precious, and we must each do our part to preserve lives on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago.
Think twice.
Every day, we give you life-saving tips and advice on how you can safely use our roads and highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We also invite you to download this safety app, which you can use to share messages and information in your very own private networks between family and friends and co-workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, VEMCOT, in association with Arrival Live and the TTPS, the Gallant Group of Companies and Computers and Controls.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Carnival 2019 on main stage Power 102, celebrating the Masters.
I do things to last a long time.
Get an early start to the festivities, a celebration of Trinbagonian culture. Come and enjoy the sweet enticing sound of pan. Calypso, and the best of Carnival 2019.
Not very
The
sure, but
party
really
season is here. Celebrating the Masters, playing now on Power 102.
I knew I had to be on stage.
Okay,
I
tell me
felt
that last
this is the place.
Celebrating the Masters here on Power 102.
Yeah, well,
Ticket giveaways,
this is not for this one,
favorite
this is for these smaller
accomplishments
mics.
and facts, interesting
For that
historical
one.
features,
So that's why this
origins of the
was.
mass,
This
your one, right?
Yeah,
fables
yeah.
and legends, characters of Carnival, and to keep you updated and in the
Have a
know
bigger one
on
too.
Carnival Calendar 2019, along with so much more. We'll carry live coverage of your favorite Carnival events, celebrating the Masters. Playing now on Power 102.
Power 102, empowering you.
This Carnival.
I want to tell you that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, right here on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center. That's out at St. Augustine. Yeah.
So we're here to talk sex.
Yeah, and it's a
Last
Friday.
week, I know I started a program and I was talking about the different types of sex and whatnot. And what I want to focus on is a lot of times you have women who have situations and they don't understand why they have these situations. I'm talking about sexual situations and sexual problems, and why it is they don't adapt or change as time goes by. One is physical change, and sometimes, when you use the word andropause, people tend to think that it's male menopause, but there's no such thing. The World Health Organization in 1999 decided to name this condition among men andropause.
Yeah.
But it is not menopause. Menopause is what every woman has to go through. It's a stage in life. Some women go through menopause at an early stage, some women go through it at a later age. It all depends on how many eggs they have and how many eggs they were born with and how many eggs they release throughout their lifetime. Once you have stopped releasing eggs maturing and you're releasing them, you're going to go through menopause. With men, it's different. Some men have a condition called andropause, and that condition could lead to sexual dysfunction. So sometimes when you talk about these things, the two words tend to tie people up, especially when they're hearing it for the first time. They're like, wait a minute, I didn't know men have something called andropause. What is this about? Is it male menopause? And that's the first question that will be asked. So to debunk that, the answer to that is no, it's not male menopause. Now, when women go through these changes in life, because remember, women also have a cycle, a monthly cycle. And because of this monthly cycle, it causes them to have changes during the month. Now, men also have a sexual cycle, which is approximately 33 days. With women, they have a monthly cycle that could go from 21 days to 35 days to irregular. Now, anything above 35 days is irregular. So, if a woman has an irregular cycle, she's going to have problems sexually. Because sometimes she have a lot of spotting or bleeding, which would want to make her feel sexual, or her partner may not like that. Sometimes there's change in the body odor, discharge from the vagina. Now, as a woman ages, you also have those changes taking place due to aging, the aging process. If the woman engages in sex at an early age, so sometimes that's why, not sometimes, most of the time that's the question you have to ask. When did you first start having sex, regular sex? How were you initiated into sex? Initiation into sex is also very important. That's why when you read about women who have gone through trauma with sex, for example, rape, they are going to have a distorted way of having sex later on in life, no matter what therapy or whatever they have gone through. It's not going to be the same as someone who has gone through a normal life. And we must accept that, and we must understand that. So no amount of therapy and no amount of counseling will change that. It's going to help the person cope with whatever they have gone through, but it's not going to change what has happened to them and also the changes that are going to take place within them physically. Some women, they blossom out of it and they become more promiscuous because of what they have encountered. Some women go into a shell. Some women appear to be normal, but they're not. Some women show a depressed state. So women who have gone through those kind of trauma, expect that they are going to be different when it comes to their sexual behavior. And psychologically, you're affected. Physically, you're affected. You feel that sense of violation, and always remember, rape is a crime of violence. It is not a sex crime. It's a crime of violence. Using sex as a means of violence. Now, the normal woman who has not gone through any kind of trauma like that still have challenges to face. So think about it. A normal woman developing from adolescence into puberty, puberty into adulthood, well, teenage life into adulthood, have changes that take place also. And that will determine her sexual behavior. There are many young ladies who have had feelings for sex, but they put it aside very easily because the emotions are not attached to it. The emotions of being with someone who they love or who they care for, who they want to be with. So it's very easy to throw that aside. Whereas a man having those feelings in his teenage years will need to masturbate more than the woman would need to do it. I'm not saying women don't need to do it, but they, to a lesser extent, because of the control factor. I don't know who designed it that way. I guess it's God. That women have more control over their sexual appetite, and not all, but the majority do. Just as not all men will engage in sexual encounter or masturbation at a young age, but the majority do. So in the woman, it's the majority who don't, and the men, it's the majority that do. So we got to look at that also. A lot of time clients ask me questions about their wives, their partner and whatnot, of the changes that takes place with their partners as time go by. And sometimes you need to remind the person, just as how you change, the woman will be going through changes on a monthly basis, a yearly basis, based on their cycles, their up and down cycles, their 5-year cycles and whatnot. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. I know a lot of women out there have questions about it. So at the Adult Therapy Center, most of the women who come in to deal with those things come in, first of all, for counseling to find out, well, what exactly is going on with me? Why am I behaving this way? Why am I more sexual or less sexual? Now, some women have a latent sexual drive, meaning they don't know it until they get older. Sometimes something triggers it, like, for example, childbirth. After you have grown up your children and children has reached adulthood, you may find that you have a burst of energy sexually. Sometimes when you have gone through menopause, you find that change take place. Some women go through life with never having a change take place. And when they're talking to their friends or others, when that talk about sexual feelings and whatnot comes up, they're at a loss. They're like, what are you talking about? I never feel that. I've never felt that before. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not just talking about the orgasm and having those things happen. I'm talking about you as a person enjoying sex differently and being able to compare it. Sometimes it's just blah. So you really don't know. Unless, of course, someone comes along now and introduce you to something different, or you have a change in your life, some kind of change as you age, even a hormonal change that caused you to enjoy things more. So it's very difficult to paint women with well, you can't paint human being with one broad brush, especially when it comes to things of a sexual nature. But you have to examine carefully when you're dealing with these things, what could cause this person to change? What could bring about a positive change or a negative change? In some women, it becomes negative. One of the important factors is how your partner treats you. That's an important factor because the emotional part of it is very strongly linked to the behavior of a woman sexually. So your partnership that you have with your husband, your boyfriend, your man will determine also how you react to him sexually. So that's why it's very important sometimes that we look at the area of abuse in different form. There are some women who can handle a little pressure, stress of the home, the way the husband treats her and whatnot. It might not be 100%, but it's something that she could manage and she learned to live with it and she could control it and control what it does to her. Now when it comes to physical abuse, there are some women who feel that they deserve the physical abuse also, which is a wrong feeling. But they feel like that because they've been made to feel like that. So throughout their lifetime, they would have gone through changes with this abuse, and it would have created a scenario within themselves to think that they must be subservient and behave in a particular way. But putting all those things aside, and I wanted to touch on it because those things are important, especially when you're discussing anything of a sexual nature. The other part of it is STDs and STI, especially if a woman has had a STD or STI at a young age. If that happens, she's going to be very careful as time goes by with her behavior, with her encounters, with the way she reacts to things of a sexual nature. And we're not even touching yet what was told to the young developing mind of the woman as she's growing up, because sometimes that impacts on her behavior sexually. And we know lots of time men are faced with the situation where their partner is unwilling to do certain things sexually because of the things that they were told about it, that it's nasty, a lady would not do these things and things like that, especially oral sex. Yeah. So those are the challenges that are faced. But putting those things aside and dealing with the normal woman and normal natural aging, going through that process called menopause, and a lot of women don't prepare themselves for menopause. So when menopause comes, it comes like a thief in the night, and it hits them like a ton of brick, because they're not prepared mentally. That's why from time to time I always talk about these things, because I know the population is aging. Some of the young ladies who started listening to this program started off in their teenage years when they were going to high school and whatnot. They were introduced to Sexplosion or the sex drive. And as time goes by, they're aging also. Today, one of my friends, I was talking to her, her birthday is this month also. And I met her when she was 17 years of age, and she will be 40 this year. But you don't think along those, you still see the person as a young person and whatnot. They're still younger than you are, but they are mature.
Oh, yeah.
They have developed, they've gone on, they have children, they're married, whatever, life has gone on. But the changes take place. The physical changes take place, the mental changes take place. Sometimes a woman might be in a situation where the man wants to exert certain amount of control over her. And because of that, they feel claustrophobic. They feel as though they don't have a will of their own. So they can't make decisions. So it transforms into their sexual behavior also. Sometimes a woman might have too much freedom also. And that could also transform into a sexual behavior, type of behavior. Because she's free to act any way she wants, but she hasn't put any control over herself. There's some women who go haywire, especially if drugs and alcohol is involved.
Is that right?
Yeah. They use the drugs and alcohol to release some of their inhibitions, and they become wanton. They behave in a particular way that is not ladylike. And you can see it from time to time if you go to different events and whatnot. Sometimes you see a particular woman, and if you realize the behavior is not ladylike. And if you grow up in a area where there are rum shops and whatnot, you will see the woman who frequents these places, the characteristics of the individual. So there are characteristic traits of women who behave in a particular way, or who have changed over the years, or who have changes were brought about by artificial means. And the artificial means that I'm talking about is this thing called marijuana, cocaine, crack, alcohol, cigarette smoking. There are some women who believe if they smoke a cigarette, they're supposed to behave in a particular way also, They carry about themselves differently. They feel empowered. Have you ever noticed that some women, when they're smoking, their body language changes?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Well, right. So they feel empowered by having the stick in their hand.
They get an air.
Right. You see the air, and they puff up their chest and whatnot. Because they think that I need this cigarette, or my transformation is based on this cigarette, but it's their behavior based on the patterns or the things that they're doing that is causing them to do that.
They're thinking in terms that by smoking a cigarette, especially in a crowd, it enhances their behavior.
Yeah. They think it's what makes them. You should not be defined by the things that you drink, eat, or smoke. You should not be defined by that. In life, you enjoy certain things in life. We got to eat, we got to drink, we got to breathe the air. That's a given. If you like a nice meal, no problem, but a nice meal shouldn't define you. Not because you like a nice meal to say you must go and have a 7-course dinner every night. No. Then the value of it diminishes. And it's not something that you should be boastful about. Because you need food for sustenance.
Right.
And it's the same thing with drinking. You drink water, you drink beverages, non-alcoholic beverages and whatnot. But there are some persons, and we're dealing with women now, and the psychological effects that it have, that they believe that the alcohol defines them. That I am defined by the glass of alcohol that I have. And it is what makes me who I am.
Yeah, because sometimes, as you rightfully say, you might be having dinner, and the person is behaving in a special way. And the minute they take that drink, they change completely.
They change, of course. And you see it. So, if you have changes taking place based on the aging process, and changes taking place based on the environmental factors, and environmental includes drinking, smoking, and other things, you have challenges that you have to deal with. That is why, you know, there's a saying, a lady must be seen and not heard. But at the same time, I always say, a lady, you be a lady in the home, a mother to your children, but a hoe in the bedroom. Because you got to keep that fire burning. Because, you know, the question was asked today of one of my clients, by one of my clients, sorry, to me, about what some women should do in the bedroom to keep the fire burning. Now, just as much as you would mature sexually based on your experiences that you have had. You know, I just met one of my childhood friends at the cricket, and we were talking about that, and he's still basking in the exposure to things that, I mean, he's a little older than I am, and he's still talking about going to these places of entertainment throughout the world. He travels the world like I do. And, you know, have you been to this? He's asking me, have you been to this place? And I'm like, no, I don't need to go to those places. He said, well, I went there about a month ago, boy, and I had this time. And I'm like, you're still living in that? But again, the maturity process in each person is different. It's different. I cannot judge him on that. I know that is what he likes and that is his behavior and whatnot, and hooray for him. But the things that we did 20 years ago, he continues with that. No, I have not, because it's of no interest to me. So the maturity process might be different in each individual.
So in other words, he haven't gone through any changes.
Not as far as that is concerned, maybe in other ways. Maybe it doesn't make him less than I am, you know. I'm just using that as an example. So you have persons who would have matured at different stages of their life, especially with women. And what brings about that maturity could be positive things in the person's life, success, you know, children doing well, husband is treating you nicely, or you might be a divorcee and that empowers you. There are different things that empowers a woman. You don't know, I can't say what it is, but if the woman wants me to analyze it, then it could be analyzed. But you cannot just look at a woman and say she's empowered because she has a good husband. No, it's not because of that. It may be because of her job. There are some women who are empowered by their job because of the type of job that they do, and they feel good about themselves. And they look forward to going to work, not because of any nefarious activity, but simply because they go to work and they enjoy what they're doing. So it empowers them. Like one of my clients was telling me, you know, his wife is a well-educated and does a much more important work than he does. And she's empowered by that, and she feels strongly about it. But it's impacting upon the relationship. Somewhere along the line, it impacted on the relationship, and that's why you have to pull back yourself and check on yourself. Take heed of what's going on. A woman who is married to a man, let's say he may be a professor.
Yeah.
If you go to the settings where your partner is, cocktail parties and whatnot, and you cannot carry on a conversation, you'll feel left out, or you'll feel lost in the crowd.
Yes, you will, yeah.
Well, right. So you must be able to elevate yourself as you are going along with your partner. You don't have to become a professor, but you should be able to carry on the conversation or have a working knowledge of the conversations or the things that you're going to come into contact with. That's why I admire one of my bougies. Any topic I bring up that is current and it's in the newspaper, she could carry on a conversation.
She could participate in the conversation.
And I admire that so much about her, because she reads a lot. She reads every time we bring up a topic, current topic or whatever, she contributes to it, and I'm like, how are you so current with this thing? And she watched the news and all these little things. I'm not saying everybody should do the same thing. All I'm telling you is that you need to keep current, and you need to develop yourself. Self-esteem is something of utmost importance. So a lot of women who are working, they empower themselves, they feel strongly about what they're doing, and they feel good about themselves. So they project a positive image. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Some men are intimidated by that.
Yes.
They're intimidated if they see a strong woman. They're intimidated if their partner is showing that verve and vitality and has a working knowledge of things. There's some men who they can't do household chores around the house, and the woman could do it.
But as you rightfully say, like for instance, a perfect example, what you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you might be in a gathering where your wife has more knowledge of the conversation, what is taking place, and you feel as a spouse left out.
Well, right. So I, in a situation like that, always remember that knowledge is broad-based. And one of the things I always tell my female clients, and I always tell women, is always keep abreast of what's happening. Look at the news. Read the newspaper. Listen to conversation. Not just gossip news. I'm not talking about gossip. Gossip is one thing, but I'm talking about things that's happening in your country. Things that's happening around you. Things that's happening in your husband's profession or your profession. Things that's happening in your neighborhood. Be accurate with all that so that you could carry on a conversation with anyone if the topic comes up. Like, for example, you might read about or you might hear about something that is happening in the business sector. And it piques your interest, or it doesn't pique your interest, but you still say, well, let me read something about that. So you could go and Google it. You could get a newspaper and look for the article, and you read it and you retain the knowledge. So when that, if it ever comes up in a conversation, you have that retained.
Yeah.
Now the men who have women of that power or that strength, even, okay, sometimes we are talking about things that my wife has done a lot of research on, and she will carry on the conversation, and I'm just there listening. I'm gaining knowledge. I'm not intimidated by it. I don't feel less of a man because of it. As a matter of fact, I feel empowered because my wife feel or has that power to educate herself and push forward in a different area. Because not everybody likes the same thing. And education is not only a degree. Sometimes you need a degree to move forward in life based on what you're doing. Like, for example, my doctorate, to give that power to what I'm doing. But I was educated as much as I am now without the doctorate behind me. It's just that, as a matter of fact, some of the courses that I was supposed to do, when I showed them my biodata and resume and things that I accomplished and things that I've done, it was I just got passed in all the courses. It's like going to university. I always, my advice to young persons who are going to high school, if you don't plan to get a scholarship, don't waste the 2 years of your life doing KEEP. Don't. Go do the entrance exam to university and go in there. Because I've had friends who went and do GCE A-levels.
Yeah.
And they came and met me in university, and all they got was 6 credits for 2 years of work. 6 credits. 6 credits is nothing. In 2 years of university, you could get 20 credits. So all these things you have to weigh. So sometimes a person will ask about credentials because they are locked into the world of credentials. But I'll tell you something. And this is how I operate. Credentials were important for my clients as much as more than it's important to me. My first degree, I gave it to my mother because it was more important to my mother than me. Because it was something that my grandfather always wanted me to do, right? And that is a vision that they had. Of course, I wanted the education and whatnot, but it wasn't that important. Because like I said, and I confirm it with persons who listen to the program and whatnot, who went to school with me, I didn't care about high school. I'm not saying that those who are listening now shouldn't. I had my path charted out in my head, what I wanted to do. But sometimes the qualification is more important to those who are reading the resume. But I ask people sometimes if they stop and think that the person who is hiring you, or the person who can give you a job, or the person who is creating jobs, or creating certain things, do they have a degree? And the answer is, most of the time is no. Because they have gone on into the sphere of business or whatever they're doing. And they're well qualified, and all the degree you have in the world, you can't teach them nothing. You might show them some changes, but you can't teach them nothing. They could teach you.
They can handle their stories.
Yeah. My grandfather never saw the archway of a school. Never.
But very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. You can't beat him with common sense, and the things that he taught us from a very young age, nobody could have teach me that. I couldn't go to school to learn that. But the man never went to school. He never set foot in a school. Never.
But see, in a position like that, he did apply himself.
Yeah, but also when, he was very literate in his language, which was Hindi, Bhojpuri, and Sanskrit. And he knew his work and he knew all those things, and he could have teach you from any one of those books. But he wasn't versed in the English language. He could have talked English, but he wasn't versed in it. He used it for trade and he used it to build his life. But as far as he wasn't illiterate, in the sense that, they'll put down illiterate because you don't know English, but you know another language and you're versed in it. So these are the things, these are the challenges that you face. So when women, the reason I say these things is that hopefully women will start thinking outside of the box, and I don't need to go and do a course and get a degree or get a certificate, but I could still educate myself and be able to converse, be able to even assist my husband with whatever he's doing, my partner, do things. How come there's so many women out there who have never done a managerial degree or a finance degree, but they run a household? And they run a household with very little, and they don't have a degree.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't say, well, my grandmother. I was expecting that. Well, my grandmother used to run. No, but think about it. How many women out there in our society today did not have the opportunity to finish high school, right? As a matter of fact, my mother was taken out of school when she was in standard 3. But anything my father was doing, she used to read all his books when he was going to university and whatnot.
So she did educate herself.
She educated herself, but she never had a degree. She never had a degree. She used to do all his artwork and things for school and whatnot, and he used to get A's, but she used to do all the work. But she was educating herself, and all the books she will read and try to understand, and he will teach her. And then one of my cousins who used to live there, he used to go to university too, and she used to learn from him.
Anyway, folks, taking our chance now, 14 minutes before 10 o'clock. You are on the inside of Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education. Sexplosion with the guru of sex education, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. I'll tell you, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. And what we are going to do is open up our lines, give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj right here on Power 102 FM. Stay tuned. We would be right back.
Boom Champions 94
and Vempot
present Think Twice.
Think Twice.
We celebrate life and promote safety on the nation's roads.
Think twice on the roads, in your cars, for our pedestrians and cyclists.
Think twice before you drive. Act before about your daily lives.
Every life is precious, and we must each do our
Better.
part to preserve the lives on the roads of Trinidad.
But I was hoping at the beginning that the first 15 minutes for you to do the ads.
How you can safely use our roads and highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We also invite you to download this safety app, which you can use to share messages and information in your very own private networks between family and friends and co-workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think Twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Vempot, in association with Arrival Line
So now
and
I
TTP.
squeaking.
This one too?
Think Twice.
You can't.
Yeah.
Be careful.
No, you have to be careful.
Call it coming on
And a
the
safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Carnival 2019 on main stage Power 102, celebrating the Masters.
I do things that last a long time.
Get an early start to the festivities. A celebration of Trinbagonian culture. Come and enjoy the sweet enticing sound of pan, calypso, and the best of Carnival 2019. The party season is here. Celebrating the Masters, playing now on Power 102.
I knew I had to be on stage. I felt this is the place.
Celebrating the Masters here on Power 102 with ticket giveaways to some of your favorite carnival shows and fats. Interesting historical features like origins of the mass, folktales, fables, and legends, characters of carnival. And to keep you updated and in the know, our Carnival Calendar 2019, along with so much more, we'll carry live coverage of your favorite carnival events. Celebrating the Masters. Playing now on Power 102.
Power 102, empowering you.
This carnival. Sexplosion is on Power 102 and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to nighttime radio and sex education, we are always one step ahead. With the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Well, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj live in studio. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. For those of you who might be a bit shy to hear your voice on radio, you can always send in your text messages and your WhatsApp messages on his private mobile 740-1961. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
I see 3 of my childhood friends are on.
Mm-hmm.
Amos, Derek, and Ronald. So, also my cousin Anne in Quebec.
Wow.
Must be cold, yeah. No man, must be cold. Yeah, I think it's very cold over there.
Yeah,
I flew in with some friends. Well, not some friends. One of my friends met me from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
He was coming in on the flight. He had to come through Miami last night, and then I sat next to a pilot who was coming in for WestJet. And they had to fly into Trinidad to fly out the plane today to go back to.
That's a big difference in temperatures.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I know Trinidad was real cold, 22 point something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real cold.
As a matter
When I
of
told him that, he started to laugh.
As a matter of fact, he was almost looking for snow.
Snow? Yeah. Anne says to tell Junior happy birthday. Petra says tell Junior happy birthday.
Thanks a lot.
Wish him all the best.
Thank you very much, families.
Let's see who else, boy. Who else? Indira says happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
See, they should have
and the
been,
wickedness starts.
they should have been here with us.
Celebrating your birthday.
Yeah, they should have been here.
Did you invite them? No.
No, but we did give them advance notices.
Oh, yes. Since last week.
Yes, last week, right?
Okay, I hear you. Ladies, all they hear that, eh?
It's only 365 days again before the next one, so they could take note, right?
And that's when you head into the 7 figures.
I'm leaving my teens. I'll be leaving my teens.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about those, when you think about those changes, and when we look at the brain and the capacity of the brain and what we can do and what is conjured up in the mind, empowerment is something that is always a positive factor. It's an empowering factor for the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you learn, the more you empower yourself, the more you become an expert in whatever area, the better you feel about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself is projected in your sexual behavior.
Well, you get more self-confidence, huh?
Correct. There are a lot of young ladies out there who have gone to high school, may have a basic education and whatnot, but they don't feel empowered and they don't feel self-confident. They don't. They have challenges that they face from day to day because they think that the paper is more important than what they put into their system, in their brain.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Yes, our system is designed in such a way that we compare one person against the other. So that's why you have tests in class. You're comparing this person to the other person, who come first and who come second and who come, 31st or whatever, That's what you're looking at. As we think that is more important than anything else, but it's not. Not everyone is cut out to have a degree or to have letters after their name. And you have to accept that fact. So that's what I'm telling you. If I know what I learned from my grandfather, both grandparents, my nana and my aja, my nani, my aji, and my mother, who weren't that educated in terms of having papers or letters behind your name, but they were very educated in the way of the world and their life. So you learned a lot from them. And once you start checking on those things, you'll realize that, you know, what people place importance on is not that important.
Yeah.
You always have to look at the ability of the individuals. There are some persons out there who are very talented, they're very strong-willed, they have a very high self-esteem, they're strong, they're empowered, they project themselves in a particular way. And that's all good. That's a very positive thing. That's what you want, that's what you need. Those are the things that women should strive for, to be a better person, a better person in the household, a better person to your friends that you gather with. Because there's some women who are so empty. They're so empty that when they get together with a conversation, the conversation might be going east and them heading west. You know?
They left out completely.
Totally out of everything. They cannot get into the conversation or be part of it. They are at loss for words. So even if you try to bring them into the conversation, they can't. There's a lot of difficulty in doing that. And I see my good friend Checky is on also.
Hey, family.
The doc is on. And I'm being teased, so what can I tell you?
Being teased
Being teased.
at 5 minutes to 10.
I already imagined. Oh my God.
Just to remind you once again that you are on the inside of Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education. Sexplosion with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Just to remind you, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Maybe something on your mind that might be bothering you that is sexual. Well, I can tell you, this is the forum for it. Simply give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in your text messages and your WhatsApp messages, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You are listening to a program that's informative, it's educational, and of course, entertaining exclusively on Power 102 FM.
And my favorite color is blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Well, but
I like any shade of blue. I love blue.
Well, with your professionalism, blues goes. That's a nice color. I see you drinking from a blue container as a matter
Well,
of
most
fact.
if it have 5 containers like that on a shelf, and one is blue, my hand will reach for the blue one. Automatically. Automatically.
So you like blues?
No, I don't. I don't like blues. I like the color blue and all shades of blue.
But this is what I meant.
There was a time I only had blue, every shade of blue outfits in my wardrobe. You know. I had no other color. You know. None. You know.
So, but this was something that
Well,
you inherited from small.
no, I
or
shouldn't say
just-
that. I had a white shirt because I used to go to Northeastern College, and our uniform was white and black. But other than that, everything was blue.
Ah.
Every single thing I had was blue.
Was there any particular reason? Or
I just like blue. And if I go to buy a shirt, I'll buy a blue shirt. If I go to buy pants, I'll buy blue pants. Blue jeans. Always blue.
Wow.
I had even my blue shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you inherit blues from the color blues from a very young age. This is good. I love the color green.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has a favorite color,
Yeah.
but that is my favorite color. Somebody's laughing because I said it's my favorite
I know
color.
one of your favorite colors as well, and I know you're going to be surprised to know that I know this. It's reds. You know that
I know where you're headed. I know where you're headed.
No,
Because you see, by the time you pluralize a word, it doesn't mean
no,
people
I know.
out there smart, you know.
No, I know.
Junior, people out there smart, right?
No, but
So
I
they
know.
know
I know
that
for
you
a
don't mean the color red.
No, I know. I know red is one of your. I know red is one of your favorite colors. Am I correct? And I know that for a fact. I'm sure you've seen reds there. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of that. See, when I know you, this family. I know your style. You like blues and you like reds.
No, I like blue, the
Blue.
color blue.
No, the color. No, well, don't forget. I'm speaking in terms of different shades. That's why
I like the
mentioned
color
blue.
red because it's our national color.
Yeah, I come down in a tight bucket. Yeah, well, yeah. But those are good colors. But as we were saying about these women and the...
But I don't like blue with red.
You don't like...
No.
Okay. Well,
Too much like the American flag.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's not my favorite thing.
No, they're doing too well to themselves. So let's get back to women with the...
So the empowerment of women is what is important. And women don't need someone to endorse that, you know. They need to empower themselves. The strength comes from the little things that you can do. Even the housewife at home,
Yeah.
you know, get a newspaper. Even if it is an old newspaper, one from yesterday, you still can learn something from it, you know. Don't ever believe that a newspaper from yesterday cannot teach you something today, you know. Because there are articles that are written, there are editorials, there are so many things that are written in a newspaper. There are things that are extracted, there are persons who write on topics, specific topics. Some on the economy, some on politics, some on different
Now,
topics.
it
That
could
you
come
could
up-
read it
That it could come up in discussions at any time.
anytime.
Yeah. So you can have a...
But I
that's a
always like
safety
to
net.
see the empowerment of women when you're having conversation with them and they can discuss something, manos y manos.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I really enjoy that because I think that that's one of the things that, you know, when the Archangel was here, she will do her research and whatnot. She'll ask me questions when she come on the program. As a matter of fact, many times she ran the program on her own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was empowerment. She
Yeah.
was not trained as a sexologist or anything like that.
I
right?
remember sitting down here with
Many
her
times.
many-
Yeah, you have done programs with her, without me.
Yeah.
And that's because of the empowerment of the individual, and the person was able to carry on a conversation based on the topic.
But I'll tell you something. I know people in workplaces that have been working in an establishment maybe about, let's say, 20 years, and then they hire someone with, as you rightfully mentioned a couple of minutes ago, with letters behind their name. And the person who is there 20 years are more educated to the ones that have all the letters.
Yes, of course, because experience is also a teacher. So if the brain controls so much functions in the body, and you empower the brain in a particular area, the sexual function of the woman becomes better. You don't want stagnation, you know. So that's why I like to converse with individuals. So sometimes you meet someone who may be, let's say, living in poverty. But when the person speaks, you don't mind listening to this person because they're not talking stupidness. They could carry on a conversation about different things.
Yeah.
So you feel comfortable. You feel comfortable listening to the person because the person makes sense. So it does not matter what class the person comes from. What matters is the quality of the individual, the brain of the person.
And then on the other hand, you have the people who have, as you rightfully said, the letters behind their name. They're talking in such a high level that the ordinary person cannot relate to what they're saying.
Well, we had a good example of that recently.
Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
There are some things that fly over a person's head.
Yeah. That just don't make any sense at all.
But again, so when you have women doing that and they feel good about themselves, you have a betterment in society, you have a betterment of the person. So when the man is asking the question of the changes that is taking place in the woman, and she's empowered to understand that there are changes that are going to happen to me every month based on my period cycle, every 5 years based on my sexual cycle, and when I go through menopause, there are going to be drastic changes that are going to take place, hormonal imbalances and other things. And some women hear the word hormonal imbalance and they don't know what it means, what it does to them, the impact that it's going to have on them. They don't realize how invigorated they could become going through menopause, sexually that is, and otherwise. Some of them don't have a partner to enjoy life with later on. There are lots of women out there who are lonely, you know, very lonely. Because there's no one there to pay attention to their needs. And I'm not just talking to their sexual need, but the need for companionship.
Yeah.
They need to converse. They need to feel good about yourself. Somebody telling you good morning, how you're feeling, how was your night, did you have a restful night, I hope everything go well today for you. Simple little things like that.
Yeah, because sometimes you come across people, especially women, and you know, they're looking for someone to carry on a constructive conversation with them. And you can see the tightness before you begin, and when you get
The relaxation.
the whole body
The
changes.
relaxation comes about. And one of the things that, you know, men should also be cognizant of is the fact that we could empower women, you know, simply by telling them, you know, you dress nicely today. You
And
look well for your age.
And in return, that build up their self-confidence.
That's what I meant. Simple little things like that will make the person feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Their voice on the phone, if you don't, it's not the physical beauty alone. You're talking to someone and you say, no, I like speaking to you because I like hearing your voice on the phone. Those are things that will empower the person, make them feel stronger and better about themselves. And what does it cost you to do that? Nothing.
No.
What does it cost you to be nice? You know, a good friend of mine who is also a client, you know, we became friends over the years, was telling me today his work is very stressful because of his interaction with not only the local market but the regional markets, and a friend had to remind him to smile. And he said that he felt so good that whenever something happens, he simply smiles and he feels good about himself.
Yeah.
It overcomes the whatever shortfall he may have, and he feel good about himself. So whatever stress you are experiencing at the moment, once you smile, it goes away.
Yeah.
And a smile could only bring a smile to you. It could draw a smile to you.
That's correct. And pics as well. Well, I can tell you that knowledge and experience, this is what it's all about. When you are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. That's located in St. Augustine. And I can tell you our lines are open. If you would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. So if you do decide that you don't like hearing yourself on air, who knows, maybe your neighbor might be listening to the program as well. You can also send him a text message or a WhatsApp message of what you would like to find out from him. And that number is 740-1961. Nobody does better. I tell you, this is what it's all about. Taking sex education where it has never been before. Yeah.
But I think we should invite the ladies to call in and let the public know, the listening public, because there are some things that I may have missed. What are the things that they appreciate and what would empower them or make them feel good about themselves?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing for me to say it and it's another thing for the women to say it.
Because they will have a complete different feel to what they are going through.
Correct. And everyone out there would have a different experience, and it would be something that, you know, they will want to share or they should share. So another woman who is in a similar situation could either gain from it or just simply hear it and say, well, you know, I had that same experience.
Yeah.
That's the things that we should encourage. Those are the things that we should encourage. That those women who are out there and they're hearing this topic and they feel empowered in a particular way, share it with us.
Yeah, because some of them might be saying, you know, what he is saying and what he is explaining to us is exactly what we are going through.
But it doesn't mean to say the men can't call into
Yeah. Yeah, because you know they
contribute
have, men,
in some way or the
a lot
other.
of men have to empower themselves.
I was hoping some people get rid of the blue though. I mean, if they get rid of the blue, I'll be able to see paradise. You know that song, Almost Paradise?
Almost, yeah. Almost Paradise.
I think it came off.
It came. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion, once again, the following numbers that you can interact with Dr. Raj, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, right here sitting in studio, waiting for your calls. Feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Don't forget his private number for those of you who would love to send him a text message or a WhatsApp message. You can also do that at 740-1961. Yep.
And you know, I don't know why the person chose when I'm doing my program to do something like that. You know, my mind will go back to a couple of days and go back to other things. And
It could be very empowering. No,
it could be very frightening also.
Am I right? Something like that can't frighten you.
No, it's frightening in
It might have you.
in a
The mind intolerant. You know, you might be thinking something completely different. But it's always nice, especially with your knowledge and what you. It's always nice to get things like that while you're doing a program. You know.
well,
It empowers you.
it makes me feel good.
But this is what I was about to let you know. It empowers you, you see? And you know what I mean? And you're sitting down.
What empowers me more is when people call in and ask questions
Yeah.
or make a comment or does things like that. Because
it gives you a different drive.
right now I feel like we should wrap up the program in a while.
No.
Take that call. You see, it's good to ask for a call.
No, not that. It's good to threaten them. The person left us.
Well, the threat didn't work. So, anyway, we have.
Who we have on the line? Okay. You're getting interesting, right?
Somebody said it was empowered for sure.
It was empowered,
Yeah,
but that's great.
and that's another thing.
But let me ask you-
Experiences could empower you also. You know.
Well, yes.
No, the more you experience things
Yeah,
and you
it
say, well,
is.
I never knew I could have done that. I never knew I was capable of doing that. Look at what I've accomplished. Or look at what I've experienced. That could be empowering
That could
also.
be- But let me ask you were speaking in terms of women with menopause. Do a woman can stay just like that? What signs that she would get to know that, look, I'm into menopause?
Once you don't have a hormonal imbalance that causes you to not have a period, and you have gone through 1 year of not having a period,
Yeah.
you could safely say that you're entering the premenopausal state.
Because some men might be telling themselves,
But there are symptoms that goes with it, like the hot flashes, the chills, those kind of things, different feelings that you have, and you change as an individual. Things irritate you that don't normally irritate you. You can't think straight. You know, there are changes, physical and mental changes that takes place.
because like my grandmother used to tell me, you know, sometimes a woman might be sitting like you have your spouse or your partner. She might be normal one day, and all of a sudden you're looking forward to having sex, a nice relaxing night, and all of a sudden she turns you off, and you thinking in terms now, I wonder if my spouse is seeing someone else. Is there a sign that a cutoff like it could
No,
turn on?
there's no
Or it
clear cut signs like that. But you got to understand your partner, and the person have to understand themselves and what changes are taking place. And the only way you could know that is if the person tells you that, you know, there are certain things that are happening to me, there are changes that are taking place. I can't understand why I feel like this during the day, or I feel like this at night, and there are confusion in me. I know women who have done drastic things in their life because of menopause. You know, I know one particular person who's a member of our family, a very close member of our family, who changed her religion because of menopause. You know. She thought Jesus could have saved her. Honestly, she thought that menopause, that what the symptoms that she was going through,
Yeah.
that if she turned to Jesus Christ, it would save her. Which of course didn't happen.
Yeah, but that as well, looking at it from that point, that will have a strain on her relationship.
But that's what I'm telling you. A lot of times people do drastic things because of this change, because they're not educated enough to know about it. There was no one maybe to educate her on it. And some people think along those lines, that I'm possessed. There's some women who think that they're possessed when they're going through menopause. And you're not possessed. It's a change. It's a physical, mental, emotional change that takes place.
Yeah.
So some women can cope with it and some cannot. Some women go into a state of depression. And depression is also a challenge because that causes other things to happen. So it's not just one challenge that you're going through. There are many challenges that you go through.
Interesting. Anyway, folks, taking my time, it's now 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. You're listening to Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Is it me or getting colder in here?
Yeah.
Boom Champions 94.
Well, last night,
Present
I had to run out the studio. Ask the
Getting
security.
cold, boy.
I had to run out the studio last night.
Boy, get that cold?
What? What?
I know I was going to bring another jacket, you know. I said, night, it wouldn't be that bad. I'll wear this.
Nah, boy, last night.
Well, I get caught with my pants down. I fly out. Did I fly out where I tell you I'm going? I go on Florida. Everything was normal. Next morning, freezing cold. Yesterday morning,
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah, boy.
it was super cold.
And last night here was
I had to
wild.
go and buy a jacket.
Every minute I had to run out the studio. Are you going to tell Dr. Rowdy, hold up a bit?
And the TTPS, the Galactic Group of Companies in Computers and Controls.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Mondays on Power 102 FM, the Business Corner. 60 minutes of news, analysis, and discussion about money, entrepreneurship, and work. And for those with ideas for a startup, solid tips and advice about the way forward and building the brand. From companies to currencies, investments to the role of information technology. The Business Corner with communications and business consultant Sandrine Rattan. Mondays at 2 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. In association with the Career Business Hatchery and TSTTP Mobile. Life is on. Welcome to Carnival 2019 on main stage Power 102, celebrating the Masters.
I do since the last a long time.
Given an early start to the festivities, a celebration of Trinbagonian culture. Come and enjoy the sweet enticing sound of pan, calypso, and the best of Carnival 2019. The party season is here. Celebrating the Masters.
Like that's the only song I have?
On Power
No, boy.
That
No, they have.
don't tell me it have plenty good songs. That is not true.
They have. But just to say what it's
Only Farmer Nappy and her.
ways to solve your
But
favorite
no, no, Nadia Batson.
Nadia Batson, who you feel singing it? Nadia Batson?
No, that is
That Nadia Batson?
No, that's Fiona.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
and to keep you updated and
They would like it blue, eh?
Huh?
Stick to your blue.
We'll carry live coverage of your favorite
No, that's tomorrow.
celebrating the Masters.
My brother.
Playing now on Power 102.
Power 102, empowering you.
This carnival.
Well, I can tell you that knowledge and experience, this is what it's all about when you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. For those of you who might be listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102.1 FM every Thursday and Friday evening. On a Thursday from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, and then Dr. Raj joins us back here at 9 on a Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you have these situations and women are confused about what's happening with their bodies, you have problems. Because if they're confused about themselves, what could they tell their husband? What could they tell a man? What could they tell a boyfriend? They don't know themselves.
Yeah, but that can have a drastic effect on their sexual behavior as well.
Of course it will.
Because when, I mean, as the spouse, when he expecting, he come home at night and seeing with a little romance, come with a box of chocolates.
And expecting something.
And then he gets turned off, Yeah,
But it doesn't that happen all the time in and around in society with people and whatnot?
no, but then again,
Doesn't those things happen? People are faced with situations that they don't know how to react, and it could lead to a verbal showdown. It could lead to a quarrel. It could lead to fights. physical fight.
Yeah, but apart from that as well, what it can lead to is your spouse looking elsewhere to get that satisfaction.
Well, that's what I mean. There's so many things that could happen. So many things that could happen to a person.
That could really put a damper in a relationship.
And it physically happens to people that they can't explain, or again, sometimes the man is thinking along the line of infidelity, and nobody likes to hear the word horn or infidelity. So for the time that comes about, it's rage that sets in, and it may not even be part of what is happening.
No.
So,
It's a
but we
sad
need the ladies to call in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll cut off at 11. Okay, I'll leave you alone.
You leave me alone?
Yeah, I'll leave you alone.
So you want to leave me alone?
I'll leave you alone with all the ladies who will call you, and you have your little segment, because I know you have a special group of individuals who will call you in, and I want to.
Or maybe I can get that extra hour to blow up that doll you brought.
I thought you were going to run upstairs and see if they have a bicycle pump,
Eh? Maybe.
Honestly, I thought you were going to go and check if they have a bicycle pump to blow up your doll.
I would look to blow up that doll so far. I'm gonna let down my tires in my car. Could you imagine that coming through the car park there? Let me tell you. Anyway, folks, taking our time 21 minutes after 10 o'clock. I tell you, nobody does better what we do best. Sex education to a whole new level. With the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image. Feel free, folks, our lines are open if you would love to interact with him. And some of you out there, I know your mind is set. You're telling yourselves, hey, look, I want to question Dr. Raj on this particular subject. So, test him. I would love to hear you interact with him. Feel free at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. So, if you decide, you can also send in your questions and your WhatsApp messages on his private mobile. You can also do that at 740-1961. We are taking sex education where it has never been before, exclusively on Power 102 FM.
Pleasant good evening to my friend Jennifer.
Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer. I hear that name for the first time.
You hear nothing for the first time.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah. Where Jennifer is from? She's overseas or here?
Clearwater. Is Clearwater? Let me get that. Not Clearwater.
Don't make a mistake there. No.
Wait.
In Trinidad?
I'll remember. No, in Florida.
Oh, in Florida? Oh, that long distance thing.
I'll remember. I'll remember.
No, yeah. And speaking about long distance, what is your views on
Lakewood.
long distance? Huh?
Lakewood. I think it's Lakewood.
Huh?
Yeah.
What is your views on long distance relationships? I remember growing up, and I had a couple of relationships here, and then my girlfriend at the time, or girlfriends, they went away, and it never lasted.
Well, it depends. Everything is dependent on what you put into it, Junior.
No, but now it's a different kettle of fish.
Okay,
You could stay home here, Skype, get off, but nowadays we had to get a letter.
Yeah, but it wasn't important to get off then. What was important is the romance. You see, we have lost a lot of things along the way. Long ago, you'll court someone, you'll write letters to them, you'll have pen pals, you'll have girlfriend, you'll whatever. A simple thing as a Christmas card. Do you know how effective that was?
Oh yeah.
And people would give Christmas cards to friends, relatives, and loved ones. As a matter of fact, I received 2 Christmas cards this year from friends who I went to school with and whatnot, and I appreciate it more than anything else, because it's not something people do anymore.
No.
But it's what you put into the relationship. So if your partner, your girlfriend or your boyfriend is away, and it's only based on sex, then you're going to have a problem, because there will be no physical contact.
No.
So if your relationship is based on that, it's superficial, it's not strong, there's no foundation. Like everything that you're doing, you must build a foundation, you know.
Yeah, but,
first, you know.
yeah, but the thing about it is that in a position like that, I find when you compare it to our days growing up, your relationship would last much longer in today's technology world rather than, because I remember I had a girlfriend. She lived in, we were going around here for almost 4 years. She went away. The first couple of letters, the first couple of months, oh, I love you, hi, sweetheart, darling. And then all of a sudden, I started to get, dear Junior. you, you know, so once you start, you know, to me, that was that technology.
Well,
once you start getting a
there's
deal.
two sides to that. Like that dear John letter you're going to get.
No.
Absence make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
Or because you're absent, you forget the person.
No, but
Or the feelings diminish. But it means it means the feelings wasn't real at the beginning. There are lots of relationships. What you think the relationships are is not what it is, you know. You know that?
Well, yeah.
Your mind and what you think this affair or relationship is not what it really is. It is what you conjure up in your mind.
Okay.
In reality, it is not that. So you might tell yourself, you see that woman I love, she bad. I go do anything for she. I will even kill for she. And to her, she doesn't see it the same way.
Okay.
So she could be, when you think you're getting closer to her, she drifting apart from you. She moving away. So it's what you put into the relationship. The foundation of the, like again, you can't build a house and start with the roof and build coming down. You have to build the foundation
From
first.
the bottom.
You got to.
And
You got to strengthen that. And if you don't strengthen your base, how are you going to have a good relationship? There are persons who got married without having a foundation, but they build the foundation after they get married.
yeah, but I know a couple of people.
Well,
like
right,
that.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
There are persons who they thought they had a strong foundation, and they decided, yeah, let's get married, and they realize this is the wrong thing for them. Also,
Yes, but I'm pretty sure you have had experiences where someone or you had clients telling you that I had liked this person, but I figured that if we get married, we can grow into love.
it's possible also because it depends on what you put into the relationship, how much you put
How
into
much?
it, the strength of your conviction, the way you develop it, and providing that the person is on the same page with you. You can't be trying to build a relationship with someone when that person is not interested in you or interested in a long-term relationship. They might just be interested in a fling. And many women out there could tell you that because they have a lot of guys will come after them and they're not interested in a long-term relationship. They're just interested in sex. Many women, I sure almost every woman out there could tell you that.
Just the physical part.
The physical part. But the physical part is not the important part. The physical part might be the cement that binds the relationship
Yeah.
later on. But it's not if the relationship started off with sex. It started off with sex. The first time you meet the person, you have sex and whatnot. You could still build your relationship on that, but once you have conquered that part of it, sometimes you're no longer interested in moving forward with anything else.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, when you're thinking in terms of that usually come in a relationship after you build. That should be the last part of the relationship.
But there's some relationship that starts off that way with
yeah,
sex.
yeah.
But it all depends on what you put in afterwards.
Because, like, for instance, most of these meeting places that people hang out, what do you think they're hanging out and they're interacting with you by a bar? Or,
Well, that's why they call it a meat market, and it's not MWT, it's MEAT.
yeah, because
That's what they call pubs and places of gathering where people go on a Friday evening after work and whatnot. They call it a meat market, you know. And it's not MWT, you're not going there to meet someone, you're going there to look for meat.
yeah, because very rare that you go to these places and you meet someone. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but most of the time it's just the physical, and then that's it, and then you move on to another person. Or
Yeah,
you move on to another
like
place.
my same friend was telling me about, this instance where you go to this club and the ratio is 5 to 1, 5 women to 1 man. And you pay $15 and you have 15 minutes with the person to get off. Sex. That's all it is. And the women come there for that. And the guys go there for that.
And it's just a
But
couple.
it's 5 women to 1 man. All you do is pay $15. You go into a room, you get your rock off, and you go.
And you go
half an hour after, you go with someone else if you want. You could go there and spend a night, spend an entire night, spend a couple of $100, and have sex with about 20 women.
They take credit cards.
There's not a couple. That's $300.
Yeah. No. I understand what you're saying there. But
If it's just the physical thing, it's easier
yeah.
because you get the physical part of it over and you're done with, and you no longer have to look to that.
Yeah, but then again, on the other hand, you have a small percentage of women who, as we rightfully say, go to these places hoping that they meet someone and they have a meaningfully relationship after. Even though the percentage might be a bit small.
You will not find that in those places. It's, you know that song, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places?
No, I'm not. I'm speaking in terms of home here now.
Yeah, but that's what I said. You're looking for love in all the wrong places.
So you don't think relationships like that can develop into a long term?
It could. Anything is possible, Junior. But if you're going there with that intention, you're going with the wrong intention.
That's a negative.
You're going with the wrong intention. You're going to have trouble reconciling what the place is about and what you're looking for. If you go to a place to hang out, no, it doesn't mean to say, let's say for example, you and I decide to celebrate your birthday tonight. We go into a bar. And as you walk in, your eye fall on someone and that person's eyes fall on you. And it's love at first sight. It doesn't mean to say the person can't end up liking you. That is possible. But if you go with the intention that I go into this place and I have to pick up a woman and that woman will be my wife, you're going with the wrong intention.
No.
But anything is possible in this life. You create the aura around you and you create your energies, you know. The energy that you put out there, you get returns on it.
Yeah.
So if you put out negative energy and what you
get
gonna,
a negative.
but if you go into a place of negative energy like that, or no, let's not use the word negative energy. You go to a place where the energy is not about love and long-term relationship, but just about slam bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. It's very rare that you're going to meet someone that you can develop a relationship for a long time. I'm not saying it's impossible, it's rare. But again, won't you question later on? See this young lady, you fall in love with her and whatnot. Won't you question somewhere along the line what she was there for?
Yeah, it would cross my mind.
Well, of course it would.
It would cross my mind, you know, she was there because she wanted to pick up or looking for someone.
Well, right. Or maybe she had picked up someone before and it didn't work out.
And she's looking for seconds.
Correct. Where do you fall in the totem pole?
Where do
Are
you
you at the totem pole, the top or the bottom?
Yeah.
Or somewhere in between? You don't know. That's why when persons are looking for certain long-term relationship or a person to spend the rest of their lives with, they're very choosy in where they find that person. It might be they go to a wedding and they meet someone there.
You're reading my mind now.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you that, you know, different environment.
The environment has to be different.
Yeah. Like for instance, as you rightfully say, you go to a wedding and you see someone, most likely that relationship.
And you find out from who is that person.
Yeah.
That's a family or that's from the other side. That's from the other side.
Yeah.
She's nice, boy. I had somebody who attended a wedding by us. A good friend who met one of my family members and they ended up getting married. I've had that happen. I remember my sister going to a function for one of our cousins.
Yeah.
And that's where she met her husband. So you can meet persons in different settings.
It depends on time and place.
Yeah, everything. The environment is important. And women will tell you that no, there's some arranged situation. There's some situation that develops over time. There's some situation where they find themselves, for whatever reason, getting involved with someone. And they fall in love and this is what I want for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Now, we all find ourselves in a situation and we tell ourselves this is what we want for the rest of our lives. Isn't that so?
Yes, we're thinking in terms
But
of
are you
long term.
willing to do what it takes to make that for the rest of your life?
But then again, it all depends on the individual.
Let me tell you why. When you get married, it's not the end. It's the beginning of the relationship.
Right, yeah.
And the relationship is a work in progress. That work in progress is what you put into the relationship as time goes by. So the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. So the onus is on you to put more into the relationship as time goes by. Otherwise, it's not going to be strong. So it's a work in progress. WIP, what we call WIP. In the accounting fraternity, you account for things that are work in progress, you know. Like, for example, if you have a manufacturing plant and you're making television, you don't account for the TVs that are already made and are in boxes, you know. You account for the TVs also that is on the line for assembly. The amount of cords that you have, which is the electrical cord, the amount of shells that you have, the amount of screens that you have. So all those things those are the components that goes into making it. So that's a work in progress. That's where the accounting function. Everybody who do cost accounting would know that. In cost accounting, you account for all those things. And there's a cost associated with it. So one would say, well, accounting doesn't translate to a relationship, but it does. Because the relationship that you have has costing to it. The time and effort that you put into the relationship could be broken down into a monetary term, you know. Everything could be broken down into finance, you know, and mathematics. Every single thing. If you know how to do it. But it's not, you know, if you go to break it down into finance, the person go throw it in your face, well, what happened? Is just money to you?
Yes, yeah. You'll get that line all right.
But it's an investment. When you get involved in a relationship, you invest time, effort, and money in the relationship. So that's an investment. You want to tell me you're dating someone for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and you don't hope to reap the rewards of that by getting married to the person? Why do you feel people get mentally ill when their marriage, when their relationship don't work out? Why do you feel they go into depression and all those things? It's because of the investment. The investment that you put into the relationship,
That is what
the
you get.
time, the effort, the cake that you bake and carry for him, the roses that you buy and carry for her, that is part of the investment. It's not that, oh, she loved me and I go survive on love alone. No. When my birthday coming along, I expect to get something from you, even if it is a card or a teddy bear or some kind of thing, or even a piece of chocolate. Isn't that so? There's expectation and there's wants.
Well, yeah. Teddy bear is number one.
You always have expectations.
Yeah.
And the person who is giving you the teddy bear, he didn't walk in the house and make a teddy bear. He didn't manifest a teddy bear by abracadabra. He has to go and buy it. So that is an investment also. So that's why when some guys break up with their girlfriend, they want back everything.
Yeah.
They want the watch, they want the gold chain. Well, it might even be roll gold, as we used to say a long time.
Yeah.
They still use that word, roll gold?
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
And they have another nicer name for it as well.
What?
Costume jewelry.
Well, costume jewelry.
Yeah.
But they want back everything because that's an investment. They want back part of their investment. That's where the anger comes in.
And especially because, as you mentioned there, I saw one of these TV shows where this girl gave her boyfriend an expensive camera and the relationship fell apart. And she put him in court because she wanted back the camera.
Did she get it back?
No,
Of course not. It's a gift.
it was a gift, right? Yeah.
Once you gift something to someone,
Yeah.
you can't get it back.
No, she could
In Trinidad, we have a terminology for that. You get a cataball,
Yeah.
you don't take back a gift.
No. Yeah. She knows she.
No, you can't.
lost
I,
the case.
if you had told me otherwise, I would have been surprised. If I give you something out of the goodness of my heart today, and my feelings for you change tomorrow, and I ask you back for it, and you refuse to give it to me, I have no claim over it. As a matter of fact, it's the same thing. And I always use this as an example, and I'll continue to use this. If I'm driving down the road and there's somebody begging on the side of the road or in the middle of the highway, and those medians and whatnot,
Yeah.
and they're begging for money, and I give you $20, I can't tell you what to do after that. I have given you that. If you decide to go and buy drugs, it's your business. If you go to buy food, it's your business. If you decide to give it away, that is your business. I have given that to you. I have no claim over that whatsoever afterwards. None. That's why the catabol concept is a good thing. We grew up with that.
Oh yes, sir. Children.
As children, you give your friend something, you don't ever take it back. So we grew up with that. That is embedded in us. At least I don't know if it's embedded now, because I don't know what children experiences now.
Yeah, but they're thinking, and our thinking at that particular time is completely different now. Eh?
But I know that, but that's why I say I don't know how
No,
they're thinking now. I don't know.
It's completely different. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. You are listening to Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. The only sexologist in the Caribbean. Feel free, for those of you who would love to interact with him. But tell you what we are going to do. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
So you're going till 11?
Yeah, they're going to tell you that.
Power 102 FM, the business corner. 60 minutes of
I-
news, analysis, and discussion about money,
I think,
and
you
work.
see,
And for those with ideas
for the one phone,
solid tips and advice about the way forward.
Yeah, what is that?
and
Long time, eh?
From companies to currencies,
I find it
investments, the
good.
world of information technology, the business corner.
Especially,
with communications and business consultant Sandrine Rather.
See,
Mondays
as I
at 2
mentioned to
p.m.
you,
on Power
you see,
102,
when we have,
empowering you.
I know.
that could take us,
I know that.
because you would have people,
Life is on.
but
Power 102 FM.
But that will change.
no, but a 2 hours, if it's both of you alone.
We celebrate life and promote safety on the nation's roads.
Think twice on the roads, in your cars, for our pedestrians and cyclists.
Think twice before you drive. Act and go about
You
your
notice when I advertise time on Friday, I did from 9, eh?
Part to preserve lives on the roads of
You didn't pick that up.
Think twice.
You didn't pick that up when I advertised just now. From Thursday 7 to 9, and on Friday from 9.
Download the safety app, which you can
And
use to
then
share
09,
messages
12.
and information in your very own private networks.
I see.
Workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, VEMCOT, in association
No, but personally, I find on a Friday at 2, unless if we have relaxation.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Carnival 2019.
Hey, Marshall, have a new one.
Power 102.
But you know, he and I were battling one another.
What?
I will have a song with water.
Well,
You're breaking down the place, and Marshall, I hear Marshall come out with a new one, and he answering him now with this water thing.
they all like what sing about water.
The party season is here.
But family, if it's your then people getting on.
Celebrating the Masters. Playing now on Power 102.
But I reading a lot of bad reviews. People say when they go in the fed, they only hear 10 songs and they're going back in time.
Standard drop. Standard drop.
And they're going back in time with
The other
music.
day, the other night I passing by Savannah,
Origins of the Mass.
and big fed going on, and I hear Hall.
Characters of
Hull. Imagine that.
Big fed going on and on Hall.
Carnival Cal.
But even crazy, and they was making that comment.
I find the standard. I find the standard drop. Standard drop a bit this year.
Masters. Playing now on Power 102.
Plenty.
Power 102
Standard.
empowering you. This carnival.
One taking our time, it's now 16 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Just to remind you once again that our lines are open. If you would love to interact with Dr. Raj in studio, feel free. Here are a couple of numbers. 2228255 also at 612-8255. If you are sending in a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You are listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
So let them know they have 15 minutes again.
Yeah, we got 15 minutes. We're going to be closing this Friday at 11 o'clock.
I get buff one time when that happened, you know. Yeah, boy.
It's a shame you can't drive and watch the phone.
No, I wasn't driving and watching the phone. I get buff when I reach home.
Yes? No.
Not from home, you know. When I reach home and I watch the phone.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's not
I
nice.
didn't have a good night's sleep, you know.
No?
No. Had nightmares.
Not
So you
nightmares.
see how things could interfere with you?
Yeah, I haven't even heard from my families in Rio Claro.
Oh, she was the first person wishing you
Not
happy
the first
birthday.
one. Oh, is that?
No, AA.
Okay.
You didn't hear when I said that?
No, I missed. Maybe I went out to walk out of the
No, you didn't walk out. You were right there, but you wasn't paying attention.
I love those people. We have to go to Rio Claro.
I don't want to hear you.
You're telling me?
I don't want to hear you. I plan to go, and I know I'm going.
If I knew my way, I would have. But when I pass the lighthouse, I'm in serious trouble. But if I knew my way, I would have gone.
Anyway, I have to remind people about the stores.
Hey, yes. Yeah, I want to know because some people were asking me, you know, about the investment.
Oh, well, yeah, we're still taking investors in the
And,
business. Those who want to invest in the business, you get 10% return on the first year, and afterwards between 5 to 12% each year. You could buy shares.
I want to get the correct address for once again, some
The store?
people were asking in DB.
Oh, the one in DB is not DB.
DB.
172 SS Erin Road. It's right next to the Chinese Dragon restaurant, the one on the eastern side. Not the western side. There's one on the western side. The one on the eastern side. Right? It's very easy to find. I know a lot of people, and I must say, thanks to all the wonderful people who have been visiting the store over the past week, business has almost doubled.
But I saw a couple of items. Very interesting.
You like them?
Yeah.
I think the Facebook thing helped a lot.
Yeah. So something that rabbit thing can make a lot of women happy.
That does make a lot of women happy. That's the number one.
That's the killing two birds with one stone.
That's the number one adult toy. The jackrabbit.
Now, is that
all the rabbits?
Is that the one? And well, of course, there's different types or different.
Yeah,
types.
all the rabbits. You have the mini rabbit. You have the jackrabbit. You have the rascally rabbit. You have all the different types of rabbits. You have the waterproof ones. You have the non-waterproof ones. You have the one that rotates, vibrates, and oscillates. So.
And have one that make noise like
Well, that's the vibration of the air.
bees.
That's the vibration of the air. You also have the bees. You have the hummingbird. So you have different things.
But I love the page. I mean, I'm seeing some things that
New things,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
new things.
a lot
And
of new items.
one of the things that I must say is that the people are supporting it in the south area, Debe Penal area.
So
lots of new clients coming in.
future, where are some of the other locations that you're looking at?
Well, right now I started negotiation with someone to do one in the east. So that's my next move. I don't know what's going to happen with the negotiation, where it's going to go, because there's a number of options. There are 3 options that we have.
Yeah.
And over the weekend, I visited the site last weekend. It's kind of out of the main area of shopping, business area.
Yeah.
You actually have to drive there, or it's walking distance from the town. It's a nice area, and I hoping something could work out. It's not it's not going to be a very big store. It's going to be a scaled down version of Debe. Debe is one of the biggest stores that we have. Debe is a 40 by 20 store. It's huge.
Wow. Yeah,
It's huge. And
So are
we
they-
still haven't done everything that we need to do in Debe.
So, in that, please, Debbie, would someone, like if I say, look, boy, I had a stressful day, I want to get a massage.
Not yet. That is not part of it yet.
Oh, that's not
In the
part
future,
of it.
yes.
Okay, but the one at Bamboo.
At Bamboo, you could go and get that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get a massage there. You can see all the products. You can buy your stuff there.
But do you
Each
have-
store will be different.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to streamline the things that could be done, but it's all based on the leasing agreement that we have.
Now, do you have any intentions of opening a clinic in any of these?
The one in
particular-
Davie. Definitely, we're going to have a clinic in Davie.
Yeah.
Next month, I was planning to do it this month. As a matter of fact, this week I was planning to do it, but we had some constraints
Yeah.
that we couldn't overcome in time. So based on that, as a matter of fact, today I was talking to someone about a particular something that I need for there, and they told me over the weekend, go on the website, find it, and let them know, and we will have that. That will be for the Davis store. So there's certain things that I have to wait to get.
Now, I noticed that a post on Facebook saying that people who is interested in getting employed and getting trained for.
Well, because we are doing this expansion drive, and our headquarters is in St. Augustine, where everything is concentrated in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Because of that, we always need employees. We need employees to go to the various stores. We need employees who could, when we expand in the east, we need but we don't want to hire someone today to work tomorrow. We like our employees trained for a period of time, so when they go to the store, they have a bit of expertise. They have a working knowledge of what they're supposed to do, and that is important.
Yeah.
That is very, very important.
So basically, they will get their training.
We
and
do
then-
all the training and whatnot. Anybody who comes in for a job, of course, you go through the interview. Once you are successful at the interview, you move forward.
Okay.
You're invited to come and spend time to do the training. It may not be 8 hours of training per day. It may be 4, it may be 6 hours, 2 hours, whatever. You do the training. If you have to do, if you're doing massages, you do the training massages. If you are a CSR, if you're doing the accounts, if you're doing movement from one store to the other, all those things you're trained in. We make sure of that. Because that is important, you know. The reason that is important is that the person that you have at the stores, we want to make sure that you give the best that the store has to offer.
Okay. Yeah. And have knowledge of what is.
Knowledge is important.
Yeah. That-
Knowledge is extremely important. So I'll tell you something. The flagship store is in Bamboo number 3.
Yeah.
That is the design of the store, what the store looks like when it's completed, the coziness of it, but yet it wide expands. You could have 20 persons in that store and you wouldn't feel claustrophobic, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
It's big. So you're not confined and you're not cramped.
Yeah. You
So you could
move
go
around
and
freely.
move around
You can move
freely,
around
and
freely,
you
yeah.
you
Well,
can
that's
look
great.
at the different
Yeah.
things. You can look at the display.
Yeah.
You can choose the items. The girl who is there, whoever is there, they're knowledgeable, so they can give you the best possible advice.
Because you wouldn't want to go into an environment where you choke up somebody right over your shoulder.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. And the girls don't. They're trained also not to rush you to buy anything.
Okay.
You have the freedom to go around and look and ask questions. Touch the item. Be interactive.
Well, that's important.
Be interactive.
Yeah, that's important.
You're not under any obligation that you have to buy something. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of persons who are coming to the store for the very first time because they've never been to an adult store. So they come into the store for the very first
To
time
experience the feel.
to experience the feel of it.
Well, that's great. That's great.
There's 2 ideas I have for the Davis store. I hope it comes true, but it's going to take a while for it to come true. But I think it's something that is going to be new and unique for that area, and hopefully a lot of persons would.
And I want to speak in terms for people that our sister Isle, who is eagerly awaits.
Well, that's a good thing. You asked that question because somebody, I don't know if I could trust this person because they say a lot and they don't follow through. For example, the person called me or sent me a message, I think it was Friday or Saturday, and asked me about doing a franchise store or doing a store in Tobago, and I haven't heard anything from the person again. So I don't know if I could trust the person. I know the person is listening to the program, and I say it openly. Because, you know, once bitten, twice shy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
So I may have to do something on my own. But Tobago, I'm not looking at Tobago right now.
Because I know a lot of people.
No, I will, but I'm not looking at it right now
At
because
the-
I
at
have
the
to
present
establish
time.
my base
Well, of
and I have to
course.
strengthen what I have.
Well, of course.
You can't go opening. It's not wise in business to rush to open plenty stores at the same time without allowing those that are already open to mature.
Yeah. And have a steady.
A base, a strengthened base.
Yeah.
So I would not rush into it. But of course, negotiation can start.
Oh, well,
And
well, of
person
course,
could
yes.
discuss what
Okay.
can happen. And there are ways that persons could start without me being directly involved, but being involved in the background. But again,
Everything takes time.
I believe that. I believe everything takes time. You have to.
You don't rush into something that
No,
you know.
no. I've had persons ask me about San Fernando, about Chaguanas, about Rio Claro, about different places. But again, I am not going to rush because one person have asked about it.
No.
Proper business planning doesn't take one person asking.
No.
So when one person asks me, what about a store in Chaguanas? I'm like, okay, that's one person. I may find something that may be closer to Chaguanas where more persons might be interested in it as opposed to going directly into Chaguanas.
And this reminds me, especially with you, this reminds me so much of when you used to bring down these porn stars. Everybody
Yeah.
say, bring porn stars. Bring,
Exactly.
We're going to attend.
Exactly.
And then when you turn around and you bring them,
Imagine bringing out some of the top porn stars to this country. Persons who listen to this program, who are on this program, who say they're supporting you, don't even come out to see them for free. For free.
Yeah.
You don't pay.
I remember, I could recall a couple of times you brought a couple of them.
Not a couple of times, many times. I've done it
you
over
brought.
10 times.
And people would call into the program and say, Dr. Raj, when you're going to bring this one and that one, and then, I mean, we even had them featured here.
Featured here. We had couples, we had single women, we had many women.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
they flitter with their mouth, and when it's time to,
Well, I think people, there's a saying in Hindi, people like to give you puchara. But puchara don't work with me, you know. I do things to show people I could do it. Whether the persons take advantage of it or not is their loss
yeah.
or their gain. But I do things to show people that I could do it.
That you can.
There's nothing that is impossible for me to do. And once I decide to, Alicia says, great program from Sexy Alicia. So once I've decided to do something, I do it. At one time, I had owned all these stores in Trinidad, all the retail outlets, sold it out. I'm on a different drive now. I'm branding it with my name and doing things differently. So, been there, done that.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to prove to anybody anymore.
No. Well,
I don't have to bring a
you.
porn star to prove that I could do it. I hang out with porn stars and people in the industry every month.
When you do attend these shows, these
There's one this weekend I
Awards.
refuse to go. There's one this weekend. Yesterday I was in Miami. My friend told me, she said, when you come to the show, there'll be a badge waiting for you outside. I said, I'm not coming.
yeah.
She said, why? She said, come on. I said, no, I'm not coming. And this is exclusive for us. You can't go to the show. The person on the street cannot go to that show.
Okay.
Exclusive to
Yeah.
us in the industry.
Okay.
And I refuse to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. There's one coming up in April, I'll be there. There's one coming up in 2 weeks' time, I might be there. Depends on my mood. Depends on how I wake up tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow and decide to buy a ticket and go, I'm gone.
No, well, I know you're that type of person.
Yeah.
You know.
When they preempted my show Wednesday, I buy a ticket and fly off to Miami.
Yeah.
It's that easy. So, I mean, I go on business. I get my work done.
Bottom
Back
line.
home.
Yep.
But the point is that I don't need to do anything to prove it to anyone. I've been there, done that. But I
Yeah, well.
continue to allow people out there to be part of it. And if you want it done, it will be done but I am doing it differently now. It's based on you and your support. If the support is not there, I am not going to put out my neck to do it.
No, it wouldn't make any sense as
No.
a matter of fact. Yeah, that
No.
wouldn't make any sense at all.
You remember we had porn stars coming and we went for doubles and
Riverline.
no, well, forget the river line. That was the best thing ever.
The Riverline.
That was well attended. That one was very well attended. You know that one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. But like go and buy burger on the side of the road and doubles and lime in the night and all over the place.
Give them the feel of
But then
things, yeah.
again, 20 years ago I did that. 15 years ago I did that. I'm not that young anymore, you know, to do that. To want to do those things or have the feelings to do it.
No, but you see, the thing about it is once you put your mind to do something and you have accomplished,
There's no challenge anymore.
What again? You know, I mean, it
There's
don't
no
make any
challenge
sense.
anymore. Like, you know, somebody was asking me the question about if we have any of the Europeans coming to the stores, and I'm like, why are you asking that question? The Europeans was here 2 years ago. We had a big show
Yeah.
at the Zen.
Yes, I remember.
Right.
Yeah. 2 days at
2 days at the Zen.
2 days at the Zen, yeah.
Why would I do that again? You know? My question is, why would I do it again?
We had one of the most beautiful wet t-shirts
Competition ever.
competition. Yeah.
You'll go on while in
Yeah. We almost full up the whole beach.
right. It was. It was.
Yeah.
There was not
It
even
was-
standing room
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it was. So, been there, done that. One thing I must say, Junior, I am very thankful that you were always part of it. But I don't think I could have done the things that I wanted to do without the support that you have given me over the years. And I sincerely mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I'm always there for you.
Yeah, I know that, but I have to say it. I want the listening public to hear that. So, on your special day, which is your birthday, I want to thank you for all the things that you have done, for being my co-host for so many years, for us interacting, be my all fours partner when we used to cut Chris and them tail. Well, no, Chris is no longer here, so we can't cut the tail
You
again.
can't cut the tail.
Yeah.
No.
So,
You're welcome, man.
but I want to wish you all the best for your birthday and
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
continue to enjoy it for the rest of the night because I am gone. Good night.
Okay, family. You've been listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy.